There is a rule in science that almost never gets broken, not because it is enforced, but because reality usually cooperates. When we look back in time, the universe is supposed to be simpler, hotter, smoother, less organized. Stars form slowly. Galaxies take time. Structure emerges step by step. That is not speculation. It is built into every successful model we have. And yet, when the James Webb Space Telescope looked deeper than any instrument before it, it found something that doesn't quite fit that picture. Not something loud, not something obviously impossible, something much more uncomfortable. Galaxies, too massive, too bright, too structured, appearing far earlier than our timelines allow. This is not a claim that physics is broken. This is something more subtle, an observation that shouldn't exist. Before Webb, our picture of the early universe was not chaotic or speculative. It was, in fact, surprisingly consistent. After the Big Bang, the universe expands and cools. Radiation gives way to matter. Matter begins to clump, but only very slowly. Tiny density fluctuations, imprinted in the earliest moments, grow under gravity over vast timescales. Nothing dramatic happens quickly. Gravity is patient. Dark matter collapses first because it does not interact with light. It forms invisible halos, a cosmic scaffolding that ordinary matter can later fall into. Gas follows these gravitational wells. It cools, it fragments. Only then do the first stars ignite. Even under ideal conditions, this process is inefficient. Radiation pushes gas away. Supernovae disrupt further collapse. Star formation regulates itself. Galaxies in this picture are slow constructions. They assemble over hundreds of millions of years through gradual growth and repeated mergers. Within this framework, the earliest galaxies should be small, chaotic, uneven. Their stars should form reluctantly. Heavy elements should be rare because there has not been enough time to produce them. Structure should be crude, more suggestion than organization. This isn't ideology. It isn't aesthetic preference. It's calibration. These timelines are tuned to match multiple independent observations: the cosmic microwave background, the large-scale distribution of galaxies, and the mature universe we observe today. Change the early timeline too much and everything downstream shifts. Galaxies grow too fast. Stars appear too early. The present-day universe becomes difficult to explain. If early galaxies truly formed much more quickly than expected, then the entire growth history of the universe becomes compressed. And that compression is not subtle. It is precisely here, in the timing, that the tension begins to appear. When JWST began returning its first deep-field images, the surprise wasn't simply how far it could see. We already expected Webb to look deeper than Hubble. That was the mission. The real shock was what appeared in that depth: galaxies at redshifts corresponding to just 500 to 700 million years after the Big Bang. Not tentative hints, not barely detectable smudges at the edge of noise, but clear, luminous objects. Bright, massive, actively forming stars at rates comparable to galaxies seen billions of years later. Some of these systems appear to contain billions of solar masses worth of stars. That alone is not forbidden by physics. Given enough time, gravity can build almost anything. But time is precisely what these galaxies seem to lack. This is not slow, incremental assembly. This is rapid growth compressed into an interval that our models treat as a formative phase, uncomfortably fast. Researchers immediately did what science does best. They questioned their own assumptions. Could dust be making these galaxies look heavier than they really are? Are stellar populations in the early universe fundamentally different from what we assume? Are photometric redshifts misleading us? Every one of these possibilities has been examined carefully, and some corrections do matter. A few mass estimates will come down once spectroscopy refines the distances. Some objects may turn out to be less extreme than they first appeared, but the pattern does not disappear. Across independent teams using different analysis methods, the same signal keeps returning. Too many massive galaxies, appearing too early, showing too much internal organization. Not all results agree, and that's important. Disagreement is not a flaw. It's how uncertainty is measured. Yet even allowing for that uncertainty, the overall picture remains difficult to dismiss. This is not a single outlier. It is not one strange object. It is a population-level tension. Too much structure, too early in cosmic history, and that is exactly the kind of observation that quietly forces scientists to pause and reconsider the timeline itself. This is where restraint matters. When confronted with unexpected observations, the temptation is always the same, to declare a crisis. But science does not move forward through panic. Science is not collapsing. The standard cosmological model is not suddenly obsolete. Lambda CDM is not dead, and physics has not failed. What we are seeing instead is something far more familiar and far more interesting. A system under strain, a framework that still works remarkably well, but no longer fits every detail with the same ease. To build galaxies this quickly, within such a short window after the Big Bang, one of several things must be true. First, star formation in the early universe may have been dramatically more efficient than we have assumed. Perhaps gas cooled faster. Perhaps feedback processes were weaker. Perhaps the first stars formed in environments that favored rapid growth rather than regulation. Second, our understanding of early stellar populations may be incomplete. Stars forming at extremely low metallicity do not behave exactly like stars forming today. Their lifetimes, luminosities, and mass distributions may differ in subtle but important ways. If so, our mass estimates, built on modern stellar models, could be systematically skewed. Third, some aspect of early structure formation may be missing detail, not cosmic expansion, not dark energy, not the overall geometry of the universe, but the fine-grained physics of how matter organizes itself in the first dense regions. This is not a call for radical revisions. Notice what is not required. No exotic particles waiting to be discovered, no new fundamental forces, no rewriting of gravity, no dramatic overthrow of well-tested principles. What is required instead is much quieter. A careful re-examination of timing, a recognition that our cosmic clocks, calibrated using multiple layers of inference, may be slightly misaligned. And in cosmology, the time is not a secondary parameter. It sets the pace of everything. When structures form, when stars ignite, when complexity becomes possible, if the clock is off, even by a little, the entire story shifts. Not enough to break it, but enough to demand a closer look. Here is the part scientists rarely say out loud. Not because it is forbidden, but because it is deeply uncomfortable. If galaxies truly formed faster than expected, then the processes we rely on to slow structure down must have been less effective in the early universe. Feedback. Supernova explosions, radiation pressure from young stars, the heating of gas that prevents further collapse, is supposed to regulate growth. It is the universe's braking system. If that braking system was weaker early on, then matter would have had fewer obstacles. Gas could collapse more easily. Stars could form more rapidly. Galaxies could assemble with surprising efficiency. That single adjustment changes how we interpret several foundational chapters of cosmic history. Reionization, the moment when the first stars and galaxies transformed the universe from opaque to transparent, may have proceeded faster and more decisively than we assumed. Chemical enrichment, the gradual buildup of heavier elements, may have accelerated, seeding later generations of stars sooner. And the transition from simplicity to complexity, from a nearly uniform cosmos to one rich with structure, may have been less hesitant, less fragile than our models suggest. In other words, the early universe may not have been delicately balanced on the edge of collapse. It may have been efficient, productive, capable of building complexity without prolonged hesitation. That idea runs against our intuition. We tend to imagine beginnings as slow, messy, uncertain. We expect order to emerge reluctantly, only after countless false starts. But that expectation comes from storytelling, not measurement. Nature does not care about narrative pacing. It does not wait for our comfort. It does not pause to make origins feel earned. It follows its rules. And sometimes those rules allow complexity to appear, far sooner than we were prepared to accept. This observation does not scream. It does not demand attention. It does not announce a revolution. It whispers quietly, persistently. It does not tell us that the universe is wrong. It does not accuse our theories of failure. What it suggests is something far more subtle, that our expectations may be. That is the recurring lesson of modern cosmology. Again and again, progress does not arrive through dramatic contradiction, but through small, stubborn mismatches between prediction and reality. Measurements improve, instruments sharpen, uncertainties shrink. And as they do, the space between what we assumed and what is observed becomes harder to ignore. These moments are rarely celebrated. They are uncomfortable. They resist easy explanation, but they are also where understanding deepens. Time after time, when theory and observation are forced apart, it is not observation that bends. It is expectation. And every time this happens, there is no spectacle, no collapse, no announcement, just a quiet adjustment. As reality, once again, wins without raising its voice. Over the next few years, this picture will become sharper. JWST spectroscopy will refine mass estimates, reducing uncertainties that come with photometric measurements. Distances will be confirmed. Stellar populations will be better constrained. Some galaxies will turn out to be less extreme than they first appeared. Some tensions will soften. A few discrepancies will fade as methods improve. That is exactly how careful science works. But not all of the tension will disappear, because this observation is not a simple mistake. It is not a calibration error waiting to be corrected away. It is not a single anomalous object that can be quietly set aside. It is already real enough to matter. It appears across different surveys, different teams, and different analytical approaches. As simulations are retuned, they will absorb part of the discrepancy. Feedback models will be adjusted. Star formation efficiencies will be revisited. And yet, some misalignment is likely to remain, because the universe rarely conforms perfectly, once measurements become precise enough. And that is how science actually moves forward. Not through dramatic revolutions, not through sudden collapses of established frameworks, but through small, persistent misalignments between theory and the universe itself. Misalignments that refuse to vanish, that demand attention without demanding spectacle. Quiet pressures that, over time, reshape how we understand reality. One careful adjustment at a time. The universe did not break its rules, and it followed them. We are the ones still learning what those rules truly are. If you want to follow how observations quietly reshape our understanding of reality, this is where it happens. Not in speculation, but in data that refuses to stay comfortable.